Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, today we'll be building my first ever custom keyboard. If you've seen my previous videos, you've probably noticed my old Ducky 1 keyboard with these pink and teal keycaps. That was just a fully pre-built keyboard and I didn't like how big it was either. So today I'm going to try and build a keyboard that hopefully sounds better under a budget of around $200. I'm also completely new to custom keyboards, so everything that I've learned is from online or from my friends. As always, the full parts list and timestamps will be down in the description if you want to skip to any specific part of the video. Alright, so starting out with the keyboard case, I'm using the RK84 Pro from Royal Kludge, which is actually a pre-built keyboard that's hot swappable, meaning you can easily change the switches by pulling them out and plugging other ones in. This way, I didn't have to bother with buying a PCB and a backplate and learning how to solder everything together. I also picked this keyboard because the 75% layout was the perfect size for me to use for work, since I needed the function row and directional arrow keys. The case itself is also fully aluminum, so it feels pretty premium and heavy for a keyboard around this price range. Oh, and it retails for $120 USD, but is almost always on sale, so you can probably pick one up for around $100 like I did. So the first thing we're going to do is pull out all of the stock keycaps and switches to make some modifications inside the case to make the keyboard sound better. So this is what the keyboard looks like with the switches and keycaps out, and I'll be adding this pre-cut foam I bought for $4 off of AliExpress and some tape modding, which is just taping the back of the PCB to create more sound dampening within the board. The keyboard also came with these white stabilizers that I'll be replacing with Durock V1 stabilizers that I picked up later. So it actually took me so many tries to get the back plate off of the case because it was so tight and I wasn't sure if I was going to break something. I'm going to break something. So this is what the case looks like on its own. There's a decent amount of empty space, but I didn't have any extra foam to fill it with inside, so I just left it hollow. The next step was to put together the new stabilizers and coat them with some keyboard lube. I don't know what brand this lube is, but it's literally leftovers from what my cousin had lying around, so I didn't have to buy a new bottle. I ended up messing up the reassembly a few times, but eventually put everything back together with the new stabilizers and pre-cut foam installed. I finished off modding the case by adding a quick tape mod at the end, which was just taping a layer of masking tape across the back of the PCB for more sound dampening. Alright, so we finally finished everything on the case side of the keyboard build, and now we'll be moving on to the switches, which I'll also be lubing to make them sound better. I have these Gatoron Milky Yellow switches that I picked up for around $20. I chose these linear switches because they weren't too loud or clicky and could also fit within my budget. Lubing switches was probably the most time-consuming part of this entire build because you have to individually open up each switch and then lube each component inside. I didn't really know how much lube to add at first and was sort of trial and erroring my way through it, so my switches probably won't sound the most consistent after we're finished, but that's okay. I ended up working into the evening and finishing the rest of the build the next day. Once all the switches are lubed, you just snap them into place. and we can move on to the final and most satisfying part of the build, putting on new keycaps. Since this was my first custom keyboard, I wanted to go with a simple and neutral keycap design. I ended up getting this retro Apple-inspired keycap set that I really liked from AliExpress for around $50. The keys are sort of an off-white color, and it has the retro font from the Apple Extended Keyboard 2 from the early 1990s. They're made of PBT material and feel really well built for the price, and also come with a set of minimal Apple-inspired icon keys, which I found pretty cool. These are also an XDA keycap profile instead of the standard OEM ones, which basically means that the keys are uniform in design and flatter and wider. I just thought this would help me type better since I'm used to typing on uniform laptop keys. I honestly loved how this keyboard turned out, especially since it was my first ever custom keyboard build and I was able to stay roughly within my budget of $200. The size of the keyboard is perfect, it feels pretty heavy and premium, and I love how clean and simple it looks. Oh, and here's a sound test. So that's pretty much it for this keyboard build. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and hopefully you found this video somewhat helpful or entertaining. I've been super inactive on YouTube, but I definitely want to get back to posting more consistently, so drop a like for the algorithm and subscribe if you're new here and want to see more tech content coming soon.